the very loyal wife, but normally the pretty silent wife, laying out this speech of her comments about Donald Trump. I don't think there were any great headlines in there, just fully supportive of her husband. I don't think many examples of anything in their life, no real details there, but very positive comments about her husband and the role that he would play as the President of the United States. Let me bring in our guest, Dave Levinthal, who is a senior reporter for the Centre for Public Integrity. Dave, first, your reaction to that speech.
It was something that after a convention opening day that was oftentimes talking about violence and security issues in the most disturbing of terms, something that was very humanizing for Donald Trump, something that stood in great contrast to everything else that we had heard for the previous 3 hours in this opening evening session.
And it's the opening evening. We actually saw the candidate. You don't normally see that in the opening evening, but I think he showed a fair bit of restraint. He just made a very short introduction. That's not something he can normally keep himself to.
Not typically. You would expect any time Donald Trump is going to come out and appear on television in front of an international audience that he's going to be talking a lot, and yet he really was able to just kind of cede the stage to his wife, who played a very important role, a very critical role for him, again, in trying to make Donald Trump not seem like the billionaire titan that everyone knows him as, but as a person, a father, somebody, a husband, somebody who definitely has family and friends and the American people in mind at its extent.
As we know, Donald Trump's slogan is Make America Great Again. The theme for tonight, Make America Safe Again. I thought it was interesting that the main subjects in that were immigration and Benghazi. There are so many issues in the world, but just those two. I'm not naive. I know it's about scoring political points, but really there are so many other things that weren't mentioned.
Every night does have a theme. Security was tonight's theme, but yes, all the speakers, many of the speakers, talked not in specifics, but in very emotional terms about security and what that means to them. Personal stories of people who were involved in the Benghazi situation, mothers, even actors who were talking about what it meant to them to live in a secure country. We didn't really hear anything about, well, what should we spend on the military? What should specific policies be that would course through Congress? But at the end of the day, this is not a lecture on political policy. This is a political beauty pageant, and this is an opportunity for the Republicans, for Donald Trump, of course, to show the best face that he possibly can through his surrogates and, of course, through himself and the people close to him.
Dave Levinthal, thank you very much for joining us here on Al Jazeera. The speeches continue. General Mike Flynn, who's a prominent supporter of Donald Trump, senior military player in the Obama administration, important role in the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, addressing people here now.
James, thank you very much for that. That's James Bays joining us from the Republican convention in Cleveland. Thank you very much.